Do you think it's that the rate of change is accelerating at the moment, or do we just get overexcited about things?
No, it's accelerating.
Yeah.
It is. And again, and that's, I think, from a dealer perspective hard, because not only do you have to move fast, but your people don't always want to move as fast as what's going on there. So I think that's where you talk about the human side of business, is that business is, I think, moving much faster. I know people say that's just business. No, it's moving much faster. And innovation is happening much more quickly, you know, and so I think that's going to be the biggest challenge. And it's not so much for the owners, because most owners of businesses they kind of embrace change. It's fun, it's exciting, things like this. But you got to have a whole team behind you.
That's exactly
And
it.
most of your people aren't owners because they don't like a lot of change. Okay? So I think that's going to be. I think the human part of it's going to be the biggest piece. That we're going to. How do we take people and how do we get them to say, hey, look, you know, how we did it last year, it's different.
It's different now. Yeah.
You know, and how do you get people to adjust?
Yeah, I will say I do think there's a lot of transition happening inside of businesses right now in terms of generations. So maybe the person who started the business is transitioning out, retiring, and then they have a next generation coming in. And I think that this next generation coming in, for the most part, and it's maybe an overgeneralization, is more open to the speed of change and adapting to the change than the first generation. So like as old folks continue to cycle out.
That's nice, isn't it?
I'm going back to the nursing home later.
We're gonna send them back.
yeah.
We're gonna send
It's pudding night. So
In fact, his car's due any minute, isn't it?
It's time to go. It's time to go, Dad.
I want to get back as soon as I can. I don't want to miss pudding.
No, but I do think that there is and I only kid, but I do think that there is this space where it is changing wildly fast, but there is, as the next generation is coming in, more of an openness to change in technology and being able to embrace and move towards that.
I just think even, and I know, Duncan, you've been over here many times, but I think about 5 years ago when we were looking at battery product, there was probably 3. And I can go out and point all 3 of them out there today. And they had small little displays with a lot of LED lights. Because that's the key, because that makes you understand it's battery powered. LED lights. And they're typically like lime green. Right? I walked, and Sarah and I walked the floor today, and I mean, there's 50 times that out there today. You know, and they're all working, and again, and it's not, the other thing I'm seeing also is the traditional manufacturers many times are not the innovators that's bringing in the new stuff. Part of it is they got so much money invested in building the engines, it's hard for them to take
overnight
to
quit
building an engine and doing that. So again, and that to me is exciting. I mean, that's why I tell dealers, you need to come down here every year, because it's you know, probably 10 years ago, if you came down every 3 years, there wouldn't have been that much change. But even from last year, you know, we're down here every year speaking, and it's just fascinating to me
how it is evolving quickly.
Quickly, and it's really cool stuff.
You
know, it's really cool. It's really cool stuff, and some of the stuff that's you know, autonomous. You know, where, you know, mowing steep banks and things like this. You know, you don't put a person anymore in danger in doing that stuff. I mean, and it used to be, you know, kind of clunky kind of stuff. Man, it is. It is.
It looks good to have headlights and everything. The robots have headlights. Looks good.
Yeah, but it does.
Scares the cat in the garden.
And lots of lime green LEDs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are you seeing in regards to like this speed of change for your dealership, and like what is the ripple effect with your people?
Yes, I would say the last 5 years has been huge. It's quite an easy shift for the current staff with the battery. It's not been so much of an issue. It's kind of getting to the bigger machinery, so sort of lawn tractor upwards, where could give you a good example of a couple of depots, and we've got maybe one old timer in the showroom at one depot and one of the younger guys at the other, and lawn tractor, petrol and diesel lawn tractor sales at the older guy's place are up here, and robotics at the other place are up here, and the lawn tractors and robotics are down. So it's partly a generational thing, but I do think to embrace it, there's so much training needs to be done, and this is where the manufacturers are key for this, to come in and help us with the transition. They're giving us these products. We need to understand it. We need to understand it to make our customers understand it. So the training is the key with the manufacturer. Help and just and the positives, and just getting them on board with it, and seeing it as a positive. But yeah, some are no problem at all. Some we're pulling out, dragging, kicking and screaming. Come on, let's get to the 21st century type of thing. But we'll get there. And maybe in some cases we won't.
Us old guys finally go away. So
Finally.
I never said old.
I did.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I think manufacturers, and that's probably one of the areas that they don't see a big piece of the role in, but it has got to be in helping train your people to really understand the technology.
Of course. Yeah, that's key.
Yeah. What are drones like? Are you guys? So we're having our dealers start looking at high-end drone repair and sales as an additional part of their outdoor power business. What are drones? You guys?
They've in the last couple of years they've just started to kick off in regards to an agricultural application.
Yes, correct.
So sprayers and so they can just covering a small area that's needed or whatever. There's one or two companies in the UK that really just started to really started to notice them, and these things are big. Big drones.
Small,
these are $50,000, $80,000 pieces of equipment flying around in there. So.
But who knows? I mean, yes, absolutely. I think it's something dealers, are and should be looking at, whether or not that is I'm a bit of a drone fanatic myself.
Yeah.
We fly through work filming things and whatever, but I wonder if it's going to be legally. But I do wonder whether it's going to be. It's like the battery versus hydrogen.
Right.
Are drones going to be the solution? I've seen it's big data. It's all about data as well. So if you can map a field properly and you know where the areas, the problem areas are. I actually saw that you can hook this into one of these really modern sprayers, and the nozzles will go on and off at different times and just do the areas that are needed. So, do you need, would that be better than perhaps spending £80,000 on a drone?
Right.
I don't know what the answer is, but it could be.
Well,
part
we're
of the solution.
seeing here drones are becoming a bigger and bigger part of police surveillance, fire departments, and things like this. And we're talking to our dealers and saying, hey, look, you're in a community here, and you have these people buying drones, and they're doing it with government money, which means the cost has nothing to do with anything. And so we're kind of encouraging our dealers to say, look, if you're looking for another revenue stream, right? Because they're not going to throw these drones away.
No.
And they're going to get crashed. Right? And money's not an issue. Maybe that's an area that we need to start looking at. So we're kind of encouraging our dealers to say looking outside of the traditional things.
And how have you guys gone about that? Because you've got the most you've sewn up the market in regards to the training side of things, but I guess this sort of new technology like that is quite different from your usual area.
Well, what we're seeing is specifically this in the parts and service area of the business, right? So it needs regular maintenance like any other product would happen. But what we're seeing is that we are having a lot more of the younger kids coming in and wanting to work in parts and service because they get to work on drones, right? It's this cool, exciting thing they get
sexy.
they get to be a part of. And so it brings in not only this additional revenue, but it brings in the next generation of technicians for us. And it's something that we are desperately struggling with here in the United States as technicians. And so having this as a entryway for a lot of kids coming out of high school going, I'm not really interested in working on tractors, but I would like to work on drones. It changes the dynamic. And again, lots of students are in like robotics here in the U.S., and so it's a really natural progression for them, but it opens a door for future technicians that we may not have had before as well.
I saw the movie Terminator, so I encourage people not to work on robotics.
It's a good movie.
I know how it ends.
That's AI. That's AI, isn't it? Yeah.
It started with Starlink. Elon Musk's program.
I know.
But like I say, we're just now talking to our dealers about this because our dealers are always saying, okay, what else can I do? So, and again, we're always, what else is good margin? Because as a dealer, it's not. I can't live on a 6% margin, right? It's not possible for me to do. So that's kind of the thing that we're looking at now. We're trying to find, okay, who's out there making these $50,000, $60,000 drones, and are they looking for a dealer channel? You know, because if they are, I've got a dealer channel for them. You know, and that's kind of what we're trying to see. It's a part of what we feel like our obligation is to our dealers to say, look, there's other opportunities out there. It may not be what you would consider a traditional thing, but it all breaks.
Yeah.
Right?
I just while you're talking about it, Bob, I did actually approach one of these drone companies in the UK who, you know, with the big pieces, and asking them about route to market and maintenance and whatever. And I think there is an element. The sort of the feeling I got was we haven't really evolved. I think keeping their cards a bit close to their chest. Maybe they wanted to keep hold of that side of it, the aftercare.
But there will be one that gets it.
Yeah.
And I was telling you again, it's the first one that gets it to understand that all you are is a manufacturer. You need a distribution channel. And I have, I don't know, 6,000 dealers we work with. You need to, you know, and again, we want to just be helping our dealers think outside of the box. Don't think about just this, right? You can work on anything. If it's electric, battery, we're being trained to do that now anyway. You know, you got the diagnostic tools to do it. So I'm sure there's drone manufacturers that we want to keep that ourselves. There will be somebody says, I just want to build drones, right? And I don't really care who services them, and I want to sell parts to them because Billy, the guy that runs the drone, is an idiot. He's going to crash it all. And so we just want to be there when Billy crashes the drone.
Absolutely.
And get to charge $4,000 to fix the drone.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so that's the things that we're kind of looking at, because like I say, I feel like always our responsibility to our dealer channel is to be looking for them. That's part of why we always walk around this show. I'm saying, what else could a dealer that we have sell that would fit into? We're not cutting grass anymore, right? But what else could they be doing? And that's part of what we do when we're down here is we're looking for what's the next thing, you know, so we can kind of get our dealers in front of it.
There's some pretty amazing things.
There is some really good, and because we'll be having conversations with our dealers about, because people say, "What'd you see down there? What'd you see?" And that's you know, it's kind of fun. It's like, okay, you know, here's what we saw, and I mean, we did that with a couple manufacturers last year, and you know, we have some of our dealers say, "Okay, I'm going to take them on." You know, and again, our challenge is they're not really proven to us yet, but at some point, somebody's got to be on the bloody edge of the sword.
Exactly.
Right? You know, it's just a piece of it.
And I think you know, probably quite a nice thing to end on would be to sort of come back to the show and to also to the importance of the dealer network evolving based on everything we've discussed in regards to technology evolving. There is a huge amount to see here. You know, we're massive fans of this show. This is the third time I've been over. First time you've been over, Joe. Your feet are killing you, I know, but
You know, they have those little carts.
we saw them.
Just saying,
We nearly
you
stole
don't
them.
actually have to walk.
Yeah. You might get away with it,
I
Bob.
would.
Yeah,
like
he would, because of old
would
age.
get away
We've gone
with
back through this.
And my
yes.
little cane.
Yeah, but you know, it's what an you know, just talking about obviously the OPEI and you know, this show. It's something else. It's you know, it's in just a different, you know, universe, different league to anything we have in the UK. We have great shows in the UK, but you know, we don't have the market for it. I think, you know, you have 25,000 dealers or 20,000 dealers. We have 3, you know, 3.5. So that probably puts it into perspective. But I can completely see what you're saying about looking around the show because it just gives you ideas.
It does.
Yeah.